Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. I can't read it. There's no words on it. I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. No. We'll do it live. Do it live.
Okay.
Page 6.
All right. I am.
We should all get those.
This is true. Okay. So now I've pressed record on Garageband. Everybody. 3, 2. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hopefully that
maybe that's
sync up. Welcome to the podcast. This is going to be an interesting one because we are experimenting with audio software, and Michael is drinking a smoothie straight out of the blender. But welcome.
I go hard.
We go hard. We go hard on this podcast. But welcome to the show, everybody. It's been, obviously some time since we posted a video of sorts. So hopefully.
Yeah, that's all Alexi's fault.
This is all my fault. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of like shooting the breeze today.
Speaking of it being a while, we recorded this like 200K Q&A thing. What's the deal with that, bro?
I've been trying to find time to really splice all that together. The problem is spring sports have literally just kicked up, and we got baseball, softball, track, lacrosse. I'm the unofficial lacrosse beat writer for my newspaper right now, so that's really taken my time and stuff. And to be honest, I've been doing a lot of personal, like, I don't know. I'm trying to expand my freelancing exposure, but you know.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to get this podcast monetized if we could get it popular at all.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get there. I think.
I have 2 monetized YouTube channels.
Okay, Michael, we get it. Yeah. We're failing you.
We're failing.
I thought we were just doing this for the love of it, love of this.
Same.
Yeah, but like, I don't. You gotta have the eye of the tiger. If like,
Well, no, I mean you're very factual in that. You know what I mean? I think this does provide opportunities for us to make a little bit of change, a little bit of.
Yeah, we gotta. So anyone listening, the podcast team right here. Team podcast, that's what we're called officially. Yeah. Official team name. We're going to do a math video. I'm going to teach them some math problems. We're going to do some math. We got to do that. I don't know when we're going to do that, but we are going to do that.
Yeah, we need to schedule a day where, like,
maybe we should do. Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, no.
The weather here is garbage, so I can't go climbing this weekend. Ooh, Grace, I don't like that face. That face is like, I'm not available.
Well, in college there are these things called scary Sundays, and I think Grace has had quite a few. So.
What do you mean scary Sundays?
Sunday scaries. You're telling me that you've never heard of that before?
No, I actually haven't.
I need to get all my schoolwork done before the week happens. The schoolwork that I didn't do.
I just don't do it. Every day at that rate would be a scary day for me. I'm I'll just get it all done today, and it never does.
That's very similar to one of my students today that was just like, could you extend the homework? I'm using this online homework for calculus because I'm a terrible person. And he was like, can you just extend the homework because I didn't do it?
Oh, my gosh. That's so egregious.
But, of course... No, I'll extend it, whatever. I was like, yeah, dude, but don't make a habit of this. It's not a good look.
Oh, Michael,
that's how I play it.
You're too nice. You're too nice. My
I mean, what do I get? What do I get out of being mean, though?
This is true.
What's the point? I feel like Grace was about to say something. You should say your piece, Grace, and then I have something that I freaked out about in class the other day.
Oh, okay.
Well, so my thing next week, I won't be. I'll be in Spain.
Oh my God!
To Saturday.
Can you just do that a little bit more, like, I don't know, douchey?
Yeah, no, I'm going to Spain for my friend's birthday. I literally just bought our accommodation today. We've already had our flights and stuff for the past month, but yeah, so I'm gone from the Monday night to Saturday morning, so I can record this weekend. But I'm not going to bring my mic with me to Spain.
Oh
That's
my
fair.
god.
Maybe we could. Yeah.
Unless someone wants to pay for a carry-on, because like I have no space. I'm like bringing a literal backpack and that's it.
Because Ryanair or something is terrible.
Yeah,
Is that who you're
exactly.
taking? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just too expensive. I have like 2 connecting flights there and back. Doesn't make sense to check a bag.
Maybe
I'm
we
only
can
there
catch
for,
up a
like,
little
less
bit
than a
this
week.
weekend and do a podcast episode and a math video. Okay, so here's what I was going to talk about. I freaked out in class,
Okay.
right? So I teach in this room a lot of people use this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had this like printout that was on the cork board that was like, not part of the chalkboard or not part of what you used to teach, but just like for announcements and stuff. And it was like this, the Jean-Luc Picard meme where he's like,
Oh yeah.
doing that. And then it was like, do you have a question? Look at the syllabus before asking. And I was, no, that sends the wrong message. That sends the message that like, you should be afraid to ask your professor because if you ask something stupid, they're going to be pissed. And that's a terrible message to send, right? The message should be, no, like, don't be afraid. No question stupid. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I like pulled those 2, like, there were 2 of them. I pulled those 2 posters down and I flipped out and I was like, class, this is the wrong message. Ask me anything you want.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway,
That's
what I did.
So,
No.
wow.
Well, I was
ahead,
gonna,
Grace.
I was gonna say like I get where you're coming from, Michael, and I respect and appreciate you that you see your job like that. But as a student, now I always like asking questions, and there are some lectures that I have that make me feel stupid for asking questions, and I don't appreciate it. So again, I appreciate you for saying that. But at the same time, like there's been moments where, well, especially during online school during like COVID and stuff, people would ask like the same question every week, and they would be questions about like our assignments, which at the beginning of our module, you would have a syllabus, a module guide, which has all of the answers on there already. What is the word count? What are the essay questions? What percent is it worth in our grade? What are the referencing schemes you want it for, this and that. And so then when we would have Q&As about the essay, people would be asking and he'd be spending more time discussing those little pieces of information that have already been said, going over that, as opposed to actually like going over content, for the essay. And I even have a friend who does biomed, and she's had the same thing where they've had Q&As for exams, and they'd ask all of the questions that have already been answered like 10 times. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, these are like, those answers are very easy to find. Not like content, like questions or answers, but like assignment questions. And it's just like, dude, look at the fucking syllabus, man. It was given to you week 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Refer back to it. It's there for a reason, It's different if you're clarifying, but a lot of this is like, wait, he never told us.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
maybe, but I don't know. Like, I don't know that it should be said in like this public, shamey, jokey way that it was.
You didn't like the demeanor of the message?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm at a small school and like at small places like this, it's hard to get overrun with that kind of stuff.
What do you mean?
Well,
overrun?
Like there aren't enough students to like overrun me with questions like that.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you feel like you would have the same attitude if you were at, say, an Ohio State or University of Alabama, like, because those class sizes are huge, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
And if you get bombarded with hundreds of kids asking you.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
My this essay?
Yeah, my like really high and mighty opinion here is like totally sculpted by my experience, right? And it would maybe be totally different if it were something fair. Still, I'm gonna I'm gonna die on this hill for as long as I can. Because
Well,
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something done to make people not be afraid, right? It's like a huge disadvantage. So, all the froofy kids that came from fancy high schools or whatever were trained to interact with their teachers and professors and stuff, and it gives them a huge advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the kids that didn't go to froofy high schools that maybe came from different not as
Rigorous.
privileged backgrounds or whatever are not trained to interact with their teachers and stuff. So they would see something like this and be totally off put, right?
No, yeah. I mean,
anyway.
Well, I don't know. I had a thought and maybe I'll remember it. But
then I just kept talking.
No,
because I'm a jerk.
Like you were saying. Oh no. Listen,
I'm doing it now.
I've been hijacking the conversations for the past couple weeks just because of sports. So really, I'm the one that needs to shut up. But
sports
yeah.
game.
So anyway, back to what Michael was saying.
Yeah. And the venom is there. The venom is
and
there.
Alec, guess who I talked to today?
Oh boy.
Well, I'm not going to Barcelona. I'm not going to Barcelona.
But okay, where are you going though?
I'm going to Magaluf, Mallorca. Palma de Mallorca.
Oh, you're going to Mallorca?
Yeah.
Take a lot of pictures.
Good rock climbing there.
Is there? Yeah, we're gonna be staying on the beach.
Oh, I just remembered it. Can I just say it before I forget it again?
Yeah.
As long as it's not football.
It's not football. It's not football.
Not sports.
It's not sports. It's not sports.
What?
Gonna do.
This
Jesus.
is insane.
Oh God!
Sorry.
Wow, that was pretty loud.
That emphasis right there was totally deserved for that not having anything to do with sports. So continue.
Anyway, so I had this class. I think I talked about this class before on this podcast, but it was a creative writing class, and we met only one day a week, and it was Mondays from 7 to 9. So it was a 2-hour class. Again, we only met one day a week, and
7
the professor.
a.m.?
No, 7 at night.
Oh.
The professor for the class, his name is Robert Olmsted. He's a very well-known novelist. One of his novels, I think, called The Cabin, became a movie. I don't know if it really did anything noise-worthy, but Grace, you remember that short story that I won an award for in high school? It was called Forget. It was about a young lady in the Rwandan genocide living through it. I don't know if you really remember it, but anyway, I won a literary award for best short story in my high school for this. And I keep falling back on this story because I really like the way that I wrote it, and I like who edited it. Allie, forgot her last name, but anyway, you remember Allie, Grace? She was my tutor in high school. Was the part of the reason I became a journalist professionally. But anyway, I asked Robert Olmsted if I could get his opinion about this short story because coming from I'm taking advantage of what's being offered to me, right? There's this novelist, very well-known novelist, who I could get eyes on this short story to read and to critique, right? And he took that, and this has to do with the fact that I'm perceived as a football player, so it might have to do with football a little bit. Sorry, but he took that as me trying to get ahead of an assignment, right? Trying to not do work. And he said everyone has to do the work, blah, 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 blah. And then the last thing that he said to me was, discretion is key, my friend. And I was like, kind of like,
what?
Yeah, like what do you mean by that? And not only that, I mean, this was actually a really good thing that we did in the class of where, you write a story, you print out copies for everybody, which is so dumb because you only have a certain number of printing points. But I would have this 10-page short story, right? And I would have to make copies for everybody. And I remember I made this short story. It was a science fiction piece. I based it off of a movie called Pandorum. Don't know if anyone's a fan, but it's a good science fiction movie. You should probably go check it out. anyway, I based it off of that, and I remember he called it borderline racist, imperialistic, and I think he used another like term to describe who I was and what I was writing about. And I remember a bunch of people in the class were just kind of like, whoa, wait a second here. Like, we know who this kid is. Like, I remember my fraternity brother, who was also in the class, Jeremy, he was like, first of all, I know this kid. I live with this kid. Like, he's not like biased in that kind of a way. Like, I don't understand how you could. And Robert tried to backtrack and say like, oh, it's because no, it's just we have to identify the things that we write about and why we write about them. And I'm like, dude, I wrote it because you forced me to write a story off the top of my head, and I had 2 days to think about it, so this is what I came up with. Yeah. Like, what more do you want from me? So, I don't know, Michael. I don't know if you have a take on that, but I thought that was kind of in line with what you were talking about, how sometimes, like, teachers make it hard for you to speak up about certain things. Like I wanted like some professional eyes, you know what I mean? I don't know. Now I'm getting flustered about it.
No. Well, can I hop in?
Sure, yeah.
Or Michael, do you want to?
Yeah, I don't, you know, I mean, that's creative work, right? And I don't have the, like,
you don't do
knowledge or whatever to talk about or judge creative work. I think it's like really difficult to do that kind of thing, right? So I don't know that I can comment on, you know, the kind of stuff he did. I'm kind of like uneasy with any judgment of creative work like that anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah. But like, again, on the topic of that kind of like, you're making it hard for me to put myself in that, you know, like you want to get feedback on it. You want to like show that you care. So like, Michael, what you said earlier about, you know, depending on, you have certain types of students who know how to have a conversation with you, with a person of authority, and some who like just aren't used to that. I feel like in my school, even though it wasn't prestige at all, you know, public school through and through, I felt as though I had kind of, maybe it was the way that my high school was like organized, because it was like a collegiate, so each of my teachers were basically their own, like they were a professor in their own sense. Like they organized their classes and curriculum based on what they wanted, obviously taking in mind key points that were required by the state, but like they had like a certain amount of creative freedom in the way that they organized and ran their classes. So it worked really well for me because I felt like I could talk to them, I'd get feedback on it, all of that kind of stuff, even if it was like small bits during class or like in the hallway or something. I'd be able to like have those small minute questions, and then also be able to go where, like what Alec, you were trying to do, and be like, oh, I want your opinion on where I'm trying to go with this. Mm-hmm. Now at university now, I feel like I'm trying from the bottom up. So like, I remember Mom last year, she forced me to email each of my professors.
Oh, that's good.
She was like, just email them. She was like, Grace, you don't have to always go to them, but email them once, introduce yourself, that's it. Especially like, because I didn't always have my camera on in class. Like, just do it once. I did that. Yeah. You know, no one really had their camera on.
Sure.
Don't know what that was aimed at, Alec. But anyway. But yeah, no. So starting from the ground up, and I feel like when every new semester comes around, I'm again starting from the ground up. Even though I've had some of the same ones before, like now they're being repeated, whatever. But there's this one guy this year who I've talked about before. I'm not going to say names because it's not as much about him. It's just about my interactions that I've had with him. He has, like, on other occasions, sort of given me the sense that he's... So, Alec, you felt like you were being viewed as, like, the football player, the idiot, the big guy,
trying to
whatever.
Get by, yeah.
Trying to get by, you know, scraping the bottom of the barrel, whatever. For me, in my social, or in my scenery, I'm the dumb American. I'm the American who only knows about America, and that's it. Which, to be fair, is not
It's true.
That's not out of line. It's really not out of line. It's really not out of line. So I understand that, and I'm not naive to that. I'm not like, I'll raise my hand to participate because I'm trying to get participation points, not because I think I'm saying anything that is like fucking
Important.
brilliant, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the concepts and participate. But so we have our final assignments. We get 2 big assignments per semester. We just finished the first round, so these next ones will be the final assignments. And for this particular class, there's 3 essay prompts. And I'm not going to read out to you 2 of them because they're like paragraphs. But I am going to read out to you one of them. Like the other 2 are like the question is embedded in like a paragraph of context and like citations and shit. But the other one, the third one, is just...
Is this the same professor that you took a photo of that was knitting?
No, that's Roger.
That's Roger.
We love Roger.
Okay,
we love Roger. Roger, actually, I had him last year for logic. Michael remembers when I was struggling with logic.
Oh, yeah, I remember taking logic.
Michael helped me with some logic stuff. But I emailed him, Roger, this is, again, not the guy that I'm talking about, but I emailed him, introducing myself. I heard the way he spoke on his recorded lectures, and I was like, are you American? Where are you from? Where are you from? He emailed me back, responds to everything else I said in that. I wrote an email to him introducing da-da-da-da-da-da. Acknowledges everything else I said. Final thing he says, oh, by the way, I'm not American. Enter. Own line, all caps. I am Canadian.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Sorry.
boy. Someone got really offended.
Yeah, I know. In all caps. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Because it's different to be an American and people think you're Canadian. Because that's like, I could... Oh, you guys.
Oh, you're so cute.
Aww.
Look at you.
You guys are so nice.
Other way around, it's like, you think I'm fucking American? That kind of thing. But anyway, so this is, I'm sorry, this is like long. I'm dragging this out a little bit. But this is the third essay prompt that we could choose from, okay?
All right. I'm listening.
So, the criterion of citizenship status for political participation is necessary for democracy because it is applied on the inclusive basis of territorial self-governance of equals and ensures that the members of the same political community share the rationality, arguments, and values in the face of global, cultural, linguistic, and religious diversity.
Holy shit.
Can you tell me where the question was in that?
What the you said a question?
No.
I thought you were just telling me something.
Well, it's a prompt. It's not a question, right? You're supposed to write to that prompt.
Yeah. Now, I was confused because I was like, again, am I like misreading it? Am I just not understanding it? There's no question there. But so I emailed him. I said, are we meant to take an agree, disagree stance on this? I wanted to choose this essay question, but wasn't sure how to like respond structurally to it. Like, what is the way you want me to go for it? And he says, hi, Grace, good question. Better safe than sorry. In QUB, Queen's University Belfast, we'd usually add discuss at the end of a statement, which I thought was obvious. And I was like, damn, son. Damn.
What a piece of
Michael,
shit,
are you
responding?
Is that?
I'm
you
sorry,
see that?
but that's like a piece of that's a piece of shit response.
And he said, you are also welcome to go for an agree, disagree. And if you agree, disagree, the short answer is what some would have written, thence the narrative response. And so, because at the end he said, you are expressly encouraged to engage in a narrative response to these. And I was like, what do you mean by that? I've never heard respond with a narrative response.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, he said, and if you did agree, disagree, the short answer is what some would have written. Hence, it is narrative response. Nothing that one would not expect of an essay.
Okay, now I'm even more confused.
What?
Yeah.
Michael, does that make sense?
Sounds like this professor is too good for their own good.
I don't
seriously,
know.
at the end, he closes
This
it
is
off
why,
with,
like-
I am looking forward to that essay.
Oh my God, that.
Right? Doesn't it just seem a little like, and he's done that before in class, where he's like, oh, I have a really good recommended reading for you. The Oxford Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Yeah, go fuck
Like-
yourself. Yeah.
No, like, and that
I
stuff that
mean-
it's like,
You're brutal, dude. I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like that's just a basic like human respect thing. Like, I mean,
but it doesn't make me, I'm trying my best. I have a question. I thought that would be obvious. It just doesn't seem necessary to say that, my guy.
no, that's like,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's pretty
Like,
much
it felt like shady.
exactly what I was saying that I was against, right?
Yeah.
exactly. I thought you would appreciate my stance, Michael.
No, yeah, but
He doesn't.
you don't have to be so mean about it.
I'll attack these professors personally.
I
It
don't
doesn't matter
know.
to me.
Like, yeah, I don't see that as an ideal way for this
Response.
person to respond.
Right?
like,
It's like, I'm actually an idiot.
yeah.
I'm-
I'm sorry.
I mean, is there something wrong with like just being clear?
Or just dumbing it down, getting through the jargon.
Yeah.
Like, how is
Exactly.
that so difficult? Like, I
Yeah.
ask people to dumb things down all the time, and they're very appreciative. Like, people are very happy to have other people interested to a point where, like, they need you to really explain things on a step-by-step level.
Yeah.
Because that makes you then a fan of the sport, a fan of the idea, a fan of the movement. Like, okay, yes, I brought up sports, I'm sorry. But like, yeah, don't say that word. But like, yeah, like my gut reaction to hearing like something like that from your professor, Grace, is to say like, F you, and to be very,
Be like, you should know this.
yeah, like, and it's like, okay, well, I'm paying you to explain this to me so I can accomplish what you're asking of me. So really,
Yeah.
this is up to you. Like, okay, yeah, like I'll do the research and I'll put in like the back work to put pen on paper and explain whatever I need to do. But you need to help me get there. Like,
Yeah, and I don't think I can ask him for anything like that. I'm not gonna lie.
but
Like, I
like,
I
it's-
have, yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
hate this. I hate this whole situation.
I hate it too. I hate it too.
I really do.
so-
I really do. I think our job, like my job, is to like break things down like outside of the jargon so that people can really see like how to get stuff done and really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
This is what
And
I've
I
been
think-
doing. This is my take on my upper division classes recently. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of that stuff is like shrouded in like technical writing and stuff. I'm like, no, we're just gonna break it down, and like this is how you should think about it, and this is like the simplest way of seeing
Yeah,
what's going on.
and
I
I
hate
think
that. I hate it.
Fuck.
How old
There's
is
a place. There's a place for this like really. There's this place for this really technical stuff among like experts when doing it the non-technical way would take too long, right? Mm-hmm. This like technical jargony stuff is important for experts because it makes like a discourse possible efficiently. But for non-experts, it's just gatekeeping.
Yeah, and that's the
that's
thing
a
that
good
I
word. That's a good word. Sorry.
Yeah, I came up with
it's
it right
okay.
now. It's me.
I know. I'm just.
Anytime you've heard
So
it before
smart.
now, like someone took it back. Someone heard this and went
Said-
back in time.
We said
Time travel
by-
confirmed.
By the way, this came from Michael Penn. He made this statement on what's the date today? April 7th, 2021, and 2022 rather. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
I know
But
it's
yeah.
2020, but I'm a time traveler. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
that's what happened. That's what happened.
Anyway, what
But-
I was gonna say was that I feel as though
Just interrupting each other all the time. I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly. Like, help.
Shut up.
No, and what I feel like I wasn't totally prepared for here was the leap that I was supposed to already be on. You know? So, like, I have my own pride, and I can be like, I really don't understand. And so I'll take when I feel like as though it's needed, the step to get help. And then when I try to get help, I realize how much farther I am behind than they want me to be at. And that's so discouraging. At least maybe it's just my course, maybe it's just the run-ins that I've had with my lectures, but it does feel very like I've always felt like it's always been very elitist. It's always been like you have to have the terminology, you have to have the jargon, you have to have all of this because that's the professionalist, that's the scholarly, the academic way that we are meant to be here right now. And I'm like, whoa, was not ready for that. And again, it totally goes with the you're a dumb American, get your fucking shit together. Like, we don't need to dumb it down for you. You need to pipe it up for the rest of the world, you know? Like, this is a you problem. But even when I've asked questions before in that class, like, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks those questions because I've talked to my classmates about it, I'll take the fall for asking the dumb question and get shit on in front of the entire class.
Don't you just love it when older, and I'm assuming that this man is white?
Yeah, but again, that's the thing. It's like he's not white American. So whiteness over here, it's like everybody's fucking white.
But he's an old white man.
He's not old.
Well, okay, how old is he?
I don't know.
He's an older white man. Let's just put it that way.
Well, he's
okay?
he's probably like around Michael's age, but I wouldn't say Michael's old.
Well, that's why I said older, like older.
Like, I think he has a son about this. How old is Enzo?
10.
Okay, yeah, his son's a little bit younger than Enzo.
Oh, well, either way, this guy.
Oh, I know this guy. This is actually my best friend.
Oh, Michael, why don't you call him up? We can get him on the podcast, and I can just shit on him in front of everybody.
No, we're not gonna. But yeah, it's
should.
just like, what is that student teacher? How come no one's on the fucking same page?
You know what this kind of
Do you think it's cultural?
I think so.
I think the British education system is like wacky.
Well, yeah, because I'm
With, like,
not
elitism
taking any
and
of these
stuff.
frou-frou. I'm not taking any frou-frou classes.
Yeah,
I'm
those
taking-
don't exist, right?
No. I don't take anything outside of my. In fact, I don't even have the option to take some politics modules because of my degree path, because I do philosophy and politics.
Right.
I'm not allowed to take American politics, not because I'm American, but because it's not in my degree path. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Sounds like you do pretty well in that class.
So it's very niche. Exactly, and that's why I wanted to take it.
Well, and
It's like, let me get a good grade.
I hesitate to say, and this is different. I'm coming from a place of, I went to college in the United States, and I'm going to bring up sports again. Bear with me. But
You're fine. You have a time limit.
I have a time limit. Okay, well, this will only take like maybe a minute.
Whoa. Yeah, don't.
So like I don't think that it's necessarily like a cultural thing. I think it's just like, and the reason why I asked if he was like a white man is because more often than not, the people who belittle me or I see belittle other people for their intelligence or for their physical skills, it comes from a white man. Like I've had plenty of coaches throughout my entire athletic career, and I've been verbally abused all the time by white men. I've been hit upside the head by a white man in the middle of practice in front of everybody. So it's like, I've never had.
You were in mean sports. I mean, there are nice sports where people are nice to each other.
Well, like golf or tennis or track.
Like all the sports I did, people are nice to each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did gravitate towards combat sports because I thought that would make me cool, but...
Yeah. I actually had this discussion. We were at the climbing gym the other day, and so the two I've done a couple things, but I did diving, and then I did... and now I'm doing climbing. I didn't do climbing, like, competitively on a team or whatever.
Right.
But I decided that, like, what's really special about diving and climbing, even though they're totally different sports, is that the... girls and boys or men and women or whatever train at the same time in the same team. Like
Yeah.
at the same time,
Yeah.
like you're in the same practice together, and that's not like fairly. That's not really that typical. I think it's cool. I think that's cool. I think that really like is something special and doesn't and creates maybe a situation that's not so broy.
I have
Yeah.
a question. I have a question to ask both of you, but I want to ask permission before I ask it. It's
Well, you
about
should ask.
it's about sports.
sports.
It's about sports.
What is
Okay.
the question?
Don't overreact, bro. I mean,
I'm trying to diversify our portfolio.
No, just Alec,
here.
ask the question and then I'll decide.
The question is this.
we'll drop you from the call.
This
Yeah, exactly.
This was asked. This wasn't really asked of me. This is more of like someone told me that they believe this, so I'm asking it to y'all. Should there be gendered sports? Period.
Oh, you mean
Well, this is the thing. There's a lot of sports.
Grace, you should get
that-
closer to the mic.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I want to lean back.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sports, right? So I can think of girls lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
They have different rules than boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a statement, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But you have cricket, and then you have camogie. Camogie is the female version of cricket.
I did not know that.
Why would you call it different things if they're the same sport? So I'm assuming that they have different rules.
Oh, it's like softball and baseball. Yeah.
Softball, and then you have softball and baseball. Now, I'm not saying we should get rid of camogie or softball or girls lacrosse, but I would like to see what would it be like. What would those two versions of the sport culminate into one? What would that look like? And I would so play them.
But are you talking about men and women playing together on the same team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like not like should there be gendered sports? I think in some instances, whether we want there to be them or not, it doesn't matter because they already exist separately,
Right.
right? Unless girls lacrosse totally amps up into a different and starts wearing pads and stuff. For the time being, girls lacrosse can be. But what if there was a co-ed lacrosse that made up some of the rules from?
I think that's a cool idea.
I
Like
think that would be really dope.
mixed or opened gendered teams.
Yeah, I think that'd be super dope.
So
On top of the ones that already exist, and then you can choose which one you want to be in.
So in diving, they have this mixed synchro event that just kind of started. It's not in the Olympics, but it's in World Championships and stuff. So like one man and one woman do synchro dives together.
Yeah, you see, like, what's the problem with that?
well,
I don't see a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with any of that because it sounds like there's a choice. Like you can compete in your gendered avenue, but you can also.
Yeah.
I mean, it
And
sounds
then
like you guys
they'll
are talking about
also-
choices. I don't know.
Yeah.
for
and then
for
you
individual sports, it's kind of tricky because like I mean, there's a huge advantage of having a bunch of testosterone in your veins.
Yeah.
And
And I
to-
think
yeah.
it would.
I mean,
I-
my
so I-
muscles are real big, and that's just the situation.
But
I
I
don't have to work very
think
hard for it.
that's.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not.
I'm amazing.
like the Hulk over here. Okay, go,
Well,
Grace.
Yeah. No. What? But I guess what. So like, I think it would make a little less sense if you were to have a male diver compete versus a female diver, as opposed to a male and a female competing against a male and a female. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if you would revert that to like lacrosse, you wouldn't have a boys team go up against a girls team.
Yeah. 'Cause
That makes no sense.
That'd be a
That's-
massacre.
Yeah.
Well, but it would be unsafe. Someone's gonna die.
I know someone is gonna die.
No, but you can't mix them like that. You have to be precise about what it is, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there is definitely in some cases an advantage to having more testosterone, but if you have a male on one side, male on the other, girl on one side, girl on the other, I don't know. I feel like that's fine. Now, I think that the mixture, I think it makes more sense in my mind to think about it in team sports. And I think
Yeah.
that team sport would have to be a new version of the sport.
Yeah.
Kind of. I was going to ask you, Grace, because there's a study that's being done in Florida right now for specifically girls lacrosse. They are testing to see what the percentage of head trauma, how much that happens in girls lacrosse. So they're testing out this helmet.
I get hit in the face like every game.
Well, there you go. So they're
It
testing out
shows.
this. I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, they're testing out a helmet with a face with a.
That was so uncalled for, Michael.
No, that wasn't uncalled for. That was perfect.
I know,
love
but it
that.
was really funny.
It was funny.
It was good. It was good. It was good.
But anyway, their helmet, face mask, they're testing it out. My question to you, Grace, because I was talking about this.
I would not play with a helmet.
Okay, you wouldn't play with a helmet, but
Too
would
cool
you?
for school over there.
I mean, she also doesn't like the new rules here. They've gotten rid of the stop and go or the frequency of stop and go. Grace, I know you like that kind of thing because it sets you up for good goals and you take advantage of it very well. I'm saying that you're good at it, by the way. I'm not knocking you. I'm saying that you're good at it. But
Like, you mean like you can, like it's free movement.
yeah.
After a whistle calls, I don't know if I really like it. I'm not going to lie.
Anyway,
Did I tell you I liked it?
I thought
I don't really like it.
I thought you
We're
said you
hitting
like.
I think we're pretty close to our time limit, guys.
Oh shoot. Anyway, but no, I like the only thing that I wanted to say on that is, in combat sports, I don't necessarily feel like putting up a man against a woman is a smart idea. It's been done before, but
Oh yeah, I think those sports are kind of dumb and shouldn't exist.
well, there you go. That's another argument for another day. But they
Just like you, Michael.
They.
All of those figures behind you, but what's really up there?
What the fuck?
What's really up there, Michael?
Gosh,
That's good.
the
More
salt.
roasting. I think like if this could just be like an hour of only roasting each other, that would be
We should
good
do
content.
We should do a YouTube live stream and have it be a roast of each other, and we can have the audience rank how good each roaster was, and who's the king of the crop. Anyway, but yeah, that was the only sports question that I had because it was brought up to me, and it's an evolving conversation for me. So I thought I'd just hear.
Yeah.
you guys'
So,
opinion.
I think all of us sort of settled on it. It could be interesting to have mixed gendered team sports.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit tricky to do some individual sports.
Yeah, and definitely for some, that it would require new rules.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't. You couldn't have a mixed football team with the men's football rules. Do you know what I'm saying? I just like you couldn't have, because then you're just playing boys lacrosse, but girls can play on it too. No, I'm talking about like a new version of the game that is friendly.
Yeah, I think it could be done. I think like look a couple generations from now, stuff like this will exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, flag
So-
football exists, so
Well, okay, yeah. So we move.
we move on.
We move on.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Great movie.
I would actually play dodgeball if it were like a competitive sport. I think I'd be pretty good at it.
Oh, some like clip of competitive dodgeball came over one of my feeds the other day.
Was it from ESPN The Ocho?
No.
Oh, Alec is getting off on this sport conversation. I can just
I know.
feel it.
We got to be done.
I'm
He's
more
like,
of a I'm more of a fan of the movie Dodgeball than I am of just sports in general. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's where my love for sports began, was with Dodgeball.
Well, so Alec, our dad just moved into his house.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
Where is it?
Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania.
It's like an hour
Eastern
outside the
Pennsylvania.
city.
Yeah.
It's
the
on
New York City, or
Yeah.
like Philadelphia.
No, outside New York City.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
on the border of New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh,
where
I've
they
got
meet.
this. I've got this new Pennsylvania joke I've been working on. So, you know, The Lion King,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the movie. You know, like when they're holding Simba up and it's like, oh, it's like, you know that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes like this is the whole joke. Pennsylvania.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's all. Yeah. It's pretty good,
Sorry,
right?
guys, I have to go.
We were driving through Pennsylvania the other day because we went to Albany.
Oh,
Oh,
good old capital of New York.
yeah, Alec.
yeah.
Remember, you've only been there once.
I've only been there once. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Oh, it was
actually
sweet.
Oh, by the way, my dad was very upset that we didn't have recording on the last one. Why was there no recording?
No
Video.
video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because like the last one and then the 200 Q&A have the messed up audio, and Alec is having to like work really hard to put the audio together, and it's probably just not worth it to like put the video together as well.
Yeah, well, it's like every time you guys
so he's
talk,
just
I
lazy.
have to. Yes.
I'm kidding.
No, dude, it's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of work for something that should be seamless. And to be honest, when Zencastr works, I prefer its dicing, if that makes sense. It's better than. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and now Zoom will go between the two people, right?
Yeah. But
For
it
the
doesn't,
video, and then we'll have the better audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't know. It's like a progress, right?
Yeah. I mean,
if we got this thing monetized, we could get an editor.
Ooh. Or we could just ask one of your interns and just make them one of our little slaves. But then again, this isn't a part of the university, so we can't really do that. But yeah, whatever.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So wait. How long have we been? We've been going that long.
We've been going
Okay.
45 minutes right now.
Wow.
What is this thing behind you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I am in what used to be the dark room for photo making. There's a press right over here. You have to, anyway. But this is, I don't really know what this is. It says it's ProCam controls filter cartridge for some replacement. There's a nozzle on it.
Have you ever developed film?
I've not, and I wish I have.
I haven't either.
I think it would teach me a lot about lighting.
Really? Because
yeah.
it's like more particular or something?
It's way more sensitive. I mean, like if you expose like a thing of film to light straight out of
Fucks it up.
Yeah, it like messes it all up.
Yeah, I know how it works.
But yeah, well, of course you know how it works.
It's because you're old.
Grace said it, not me. But yeah, like no, I'm actually thinking about, and I mean, our parents are going to listen to this anyway, but I've been thinking about transitioning.
Yeah, they're the worst.
I've been thinking about transitioning from Nikon to Sony, just because.
Yeah, a lot of people are shooting Sony nowadays.
A lot of people are shooting Sony, and the autofocus on my camera is garbage. Like garbage. Unless I'm using like a really good lens, it's ass. And I don't really know how to like fix it other than just like get like a really expensive lens and just like hope that like it works.
Well, and you have the 850, right? Which that was
Yeah.
never really a sports camera, right?
No, I mean it was more of like a portrait and like scenery.
Yeah,
kind
so
of.
it doesn't have like the fast, sticky autofocus that
Yeah,
more
it's
modern things do.
It's not quick like that, yeah. And to be honest, I want to do more like video components. I do have like a camera that I got that was handed to me really, that works like a Sony, and it actually shoots in slow motion. I think I've talked about this before, but anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to experiment a little bit.
So what do you think about getting that, like A7?
The A7 III. The A7 III. They came out with I think they came out with an A7 IV. I want to say they came out with like a newer model.
Yeah.
But the A7 III is perfect the way that it is. I mean, I don't really know. I've looked at reviews for what the new A7 versus what the A7 III is, and people are saying like, listen, if you just want like a robust, state-of-the-art camera, the A7 III is going to get the bang for your buck. And the guy that I met at the Pro Day the other week, he uses an A7 for everything, and his photos come out crisp. So I don't know. Like I've been thinking about buying a body, an A7 body, but
Yeah, I guess like you probably don't want to go the A9. That's probably too much, right?
No. I need something that's compact and that I can obviously take everywhere, and that I won't have to worry about like if I'm like in like a dirty field, you know what I mean?
Oh, the A9 is okay. So the A7 is like $2,400.
And that comes with a lens, probably, right?
No, this is body only.
Oh, wow, that's an
This
expensive.
is the A7 IV.
Oh, the A7
And the
IV.
and the A9 is $3,400.
Jeez, Louise. That's just for the body.
My cinema camera was like $5,600.
Jesus Christ! And what is it? What's the
Canon C70.
Okay, that makes sense then. I've heard of that
So it's
camera
like
before.
it's their cinema line or whatever. It doesn't even take photos.
See, like, and this is another thing.
Because like I only
yeah.
need video.
Yeah.
Me doing math problems.
You know,
Guys, math problems.
you know, Ohio Wesleyan dropped like $10,000 on brand new Sony 4K cinema cameras. They do take photos, but they're cinema cameras.
Yeah, like the FX line.
Yes.
This is getting really geeky, Grace.
It's getting really geeky. I don't know if you're ready for this,
I'm
Grace.
it's been geeky. I'm just listening. I'm just not-
All right, 2 more minutes of
Two
this.
two more minutes.
And then
of this.
I have a story.
Oh boy. Well, we can kind of just end it right here. I mean, I don't really have anything to add to it other than cameras.
Okay, well,
are
if we got
cool.
this podcast to take off, you know, you could buy yourself a camera. Okay, so
This is good. This is
you guys
motivation for
weren't
the future.
if you guys weren't so boring.
Shoot. I might just post this one next. I mean, no cap.
I'm
but
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
actually, I wanted to ask, did we need to redo the 200 Q&A because it's too hard to put together?
I think that would be better if we could redo
Okay,
it,
yeah,
please.
so let's do that. That's totally fine. Yeah, if
That's
it's going to
fine.
waste a lot of your time versus something like this, which is just going to be like
Plug
clip,
and
clip,
play.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine with me if that's fine with Grace.
yeah.
Grace is indifferent.
Okay,
She's
so my
she's indifferent with everything.
okay, so my story. Okay,
Okay. What's the story?
What's your story?
the story I was going to tell. It's story time.
Oh.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I graduated from high school and I went to Boston University for a year. Did you guys know that?
Wait. Aww. Wait, my friends just sent me the photos from St. Patty's Day on her film camera. They came out so cute. Look at everybody.
Aw. You guys are so cute.
Oh. Well, I just
Showing us the whole group
Aw.
chat.
Oh, that's me.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
that's great. Okay, so
Aww. Squad. Squad.
oh, that's great. Okay, so here's a 25-year-old event
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to tell you guys and see that if like I was like reading the situation wrong or if I was not reading the situation wrong.
Okay.
You
That's what's
probably were
happening
reading
right
the
here.
situation
Okay.
wrong.
I was reading the situation wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, like I went to Boston University for a year out of high school. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
No. No.
But I was like real depressed and slept through classes and failed.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You know, like yeah, it happens, right?
Runs the family.
I got over it.
I slept
then-
through 2 classes today, so.
And then didn't, and then got over it again. So then I like ended up back
Mom's
at
not gonna be happy. I just said that.
and then went back at State University near my home in Little Rock, and I started taking courses there the summer after I was at Boston University for some reason, and I was taking like let's see, like I took Calculus 2 and Physics 1 that first summer. And this friend of mine from high school who was about to go to Washington University.
You dumb.
Wait, no.
No, that's the other
No,
one.
this is in St. Louis, Washington University
There
in
you
St.
go.
Louis.
Yeah.
She took these classes with me as well, and we studied together for a while, for the summer. And like we had these late night study sessions at our house, and then I would just like crash on the couch
Grace. Get out of
afterwards.
here. Get out of here.
And I thought something was happening. We had been like good friends for like the last couple of years of high school, and we had like kept in touch when I was in Boston, and then we had been doing this studying together. But I wanted to be sure. Like, I thought it was fine, right? I thought it was good. I was going to, like, try to start something or whatever.
Make a move.
But before I did that, I wanted to make sure that it seemed like I was reading the situation right? Mm-hmm. So I went to her best friend, who I was also friends with, and I was like, "Hey, this is the situation. You know, what do you guys? What do you think about this? Do you think? Am I reading the situation right, or am I totally off base?" And the best friend was like, "Oh, no. I think you're reading the situation right. This will be great. This will be great." And so I went.
No, no, it wasn't great.
And so I went and told this person that I had a crush on her.
Don't do that.
And like, yeah, that's how it went.
You gotta show her.
It like fell flat. And I was not reading the situation right. So my question to you, to both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
like,
this.
What went wrong here? Was I hosed? Like,
you were.
The best
hosed.
friend should have known a little bit, right?
You were hosed.
Best friend should have known.
I had like all the signals were pointing in the right direction, right?
You were hosed. Bottom line.
I don't know what hosed means.
Oh, I know exactly what it means. It's okay.
What
you
does
were
hosed
hosed.
mean? So,
You know,
what
like
does hosed? Alec, answer my question. I don't know what it means.
He was.
I don't.
What does hosed mean?
Is it definable? I thought it was just something that everyone knew what hosed.
It is.
meant.
Well, Grace. Basically, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, Michael. So, what do you mean by you're hosed?
I don't
you
know
were
how to
hosed?
say it in words.
I don't want to speak for you, but the way I interpreted it is, fuck. Like, I don't even know how to really describe it either, other
like
than
led
it's
astray.
kind
Yeah,
of
something like that.
Kind of, yeah. Like you're living in a
Okay.
false reality. I don't know. Like you're made to think that you were living in a false reality, and then
Yeah.
Okay.
you get embarrassed when you get told that.
Like-
Sorry.
Like,
You- you're-
was I deceived in some sense?
Okay.
I think you were.
I think maybe there is a possibility that you going to her and telling her that you had a crush on her.
Oh, that like I shouldn't have been that direct.
Yeah. I think that may have given her the immediate ick. That is one interpretation of the situation.
Okay.
I think you should have showed her you had a crush on her. Not
Right.
like chuck her on the bed or anything like that, but like, you know, pull the moves out. Not like the moves, but like you should have showed instead of told.
but,
what I'm saying.
But in this day and age,
Show
wouldn't-
don't tell.
But in
1998.
But in this day and age, I mean,
This
I
was
don't know.
1998.
I don't know how it was like in 1998, but
I mean, you weren't born.
I wasn't. Well, I was born.
Alec was born.
I was 3 years
Yeah.
old, Michael.
It was a joke. It was a joke, Greg. Jeez, keep up. This is a comedy podcast.
Specifically comedy. Hashtag comedy. No, like
Oh.
you know, I've had a similar situation, Michael, where I like told someone that I did have a crush on them, and
I thought it was a cute thing to do.
right, and I thought it was a cute thing to do too, but she shoved it back in my face and basically made it clear that there wasn't anything. I drive back home. 10 minutes later, we have a text conversation, and she admits that she also has a crush on me, and her excuse was she didn't know how to be vulnerable like that. So I think a lot of people who are unable to speak on their vulnerability immediately go to, oh no, you know, just kind of like, oh. So it's like, I think, and what I've seen, what older women have told me, is that it is appreciative when you're honest like that. Like, that's kind of how my last relationship started. I said, like, after our first date, maybe a day later after, I said, hey, I like you. And I can't really keep that to myself. I don't know if you like me. I don't know what your opinion is of me, but I get this vibe from you that you enjoy my company. I most certainly enjoy yours. You don't have to make any commitments. We can keep like the way I phrased it, I think was like, and I'm a really big talker, right? So I don't know. I kept saying like, I don't want to get involved in romance with you unless you're willing to do it as well. So, but I just want to let you know that I like you. And I think you're cool. And I would want to be around you a lot.
Yeah, I find myself digging it out of the other person before I have to do it. Or showing a little bit of vulnerability so that the other person does. But I find, like, I see, at least from the side of a girl's perspective, my perspective, like, I have to, like, get it out of guys. I'd be like, no, how do you feel? You can tell me how you feel. That's okay. I'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable by telling you a little bit how I feel. But I can clearly see you thinking. And you're not saying shit, and you're saying, oh, no, nothing. No, but don't say nothing because you are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell me how you actually feel. So, yeah, some people aren't vulnerable like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get down to the ground here.
Mm-hmm.
Did I read the situation wrong?
No, you didn't. You didn't. You had every reason.
Grace.
You had every reason to think that way.
Yeah, thanks, bro. You're on my side. I mean, it's not just this person because whatever.
Human error, man.
Like on the best friend's part?
Yeah, but when someone commits an error in baseball, it's that person's fault.
Okay, but this isn't fucking baseball, Alec.
But two players playing a game. Two players playing a game, man.
No, that's 10 against 10. How many?
Anyway, like, yeah, I'm obviously over this now because I'm married and stuff. But
no, but I think
it makes a good story. And I was like honestly kind of broken from this situation for a long time.
Man, if I don't feel where you're coming from, I get it. No,
yeah,
I do.
Like this broke me for a couple of years.
No, and I think that, Grace, a lot of the time. Maybe I shouldn't say a lot of the time because I have no statistics to back this up, but maybe sometimes. Sometimes.
Suitably flexible.
Sometimes when you are...
Zero or more than 0 times.
Exactly. Sometimes when you're prying stuff out of people, right? That might be because they got hosed in the past and they don't want to say something that's going to ruin the relationship that is already... I don't know, been cultivated or is continuing to be cultivated. Like, this is the problem that I have with dating in this day and age, with like social media, dating apps, and everything in between. There's so many options. People don't know what they want. Like, why is it?
I don't want a relationship.
There you go. Like, you can say that and say exactly what. Like, why is it so hard for other people to say like, oh, I don't want a relationship, but I want like a person to mess around with? Like, okay, cool. We can, depending on who you are, you can make that happen, right? Like,
because people want to be considerate of another person's feelings sometimes, and it's hard to like say that to some people.
Well, I was gonna, the experience that I have with this new dating scene is that a lot of people are. And I actually saw this a lot. I don't have these dating apps anymore. But when I was flipping through, I saw a lot of people that were in open relationships. And they posted photos with their partner, whoever that might be. Whoa. And they were like...
Shout out to our unreleased episode about dating apps.
Yeah, we'll probably...
I was just thinking about that.
That'll probably never see the light of day.
Remember that time we talked about dating apps?
But yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, my last relationship, no cap, and, you know, part of me getting over this is talking about it a little bit. But like my ex, she wanted, before she broke up with me, she wanted to date me and other people at the same time. And we were already dating for like 8 months. Like boyfriend, girlfriend, we were an item. And like one thing that I learned from that is like whenever a relationship breaks for me, where it's like the person doesn't want to do it anymore, I ask, you know, like, what can I do better, right? What did I not do that didn't suffice your soul or something, right? And even that's a hard conversation to have, but for me, it's not. So it's like, I feel like when you're an adult, you're able to speak things candidly. For me, being left in the dark just like doesn't make me feel good. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there was well, I want to be a little sensitive to how I portray this. But somebody recently who yeah.
That was smooth, Grace. Smooth.
To be fair, I didn't know how to bring up my personal tidbit, so I get it, Grace.
You know,
I did mine quite well.
You did yours very well. You rehearsed it, but
yeah, it's so much easier for you, Michael.
Yeah. That's because he's already married. He has 2 beautiful kids, so.
Yeah, exactly. So he's chilling.
He's just chilling.
No, but like
living his best life.
There was an occurrence. Which occurrence? What was I about to mention?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, where like something happened and I didn't realize how much I don't like being walked out on. But I don't like being walked out on.
What do you mean?
Because that leaves me in the dark. Like being like just is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. I'm going home. Like, and it's like, wait a second. Clearly everything's not okay because I feel not okay. Something happened.
That's
did
not
not clock
okay.
it. And something's not okay. And we proceeded to talk about it and like whatever, but it was like, wow, that feeling of like that was the first time in a long time where I like had to cry. I didn't cry for very long, but that jerked some tears like immediately. I was like, what the fuck was that? You know, having somebody who you care about and who cares about you, something happening, and then not being able to like get to the bottom of it or understanding what the fuck just happened. And then you just like, I knew I was going to see him again. I was hoping I was going to see him again, but it was like, wait a second. Something there did not click in my mind. I don't know what I missed, but next thing you know, I'm alone and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know?
No, I can 110% relate to that, because that's honestly what happened to me.
Like, yeah, and when even in the way my last relationship ended, it was just like, well, we knew that it was gonna end, and then he just ghosts me, and that hurt so bad, because there was no I didn't even have the opportunity to like
say your side.
What's happened? Yeah, or anything. Yeah. I was just.
He didn't even reach out to ask what your side was. Yeah.
No.
Like that's just not cool.
And I didn't know. I didn't know what his side was either. Yeah. Like it was so. Just that feeling of being silenced and not being able to know things.
Right. Well, and I will say that we do kind of have to round out this conversation, but this is a nice conversation to round out on. But you know, I never, again, in this day and age of social media, I never really blocked anybody ever up until like the past 2 years, where like I blocked some people out of my life that I just knew weren't going to suffice me. But like, I mean, just like my most recent ex, I blocked her on a couple things just because, well, rather I blocked her on most things, you know, because it was pretty apparent, you know, I tried to reach out like one last time just to like try to be like friends so we can move forward and that we can kind of try to like turn this pain into something beautiful. I never got a response back, ever. Instead, the next thing that I see is she's with another dude, and you know, it's like, and
that was pretty shitty.
And I called you, Grace, because I was pretty distraught. I mean, you know, I've been posting on social media with me and my friends, right? But, you know, I've been dating here and there, and I haven't really been sharing a whole lot about that on social media because I have no reason to. But, I mean,
Yeah, no, you don't.
she, like, Michael, like, my ex, just to paint a picture, she's dating a man who looks a little bit older than me.
Alec, be careful with.
I know. But she's basically, like,
I thought you were going to paint.
kissing this guy like
I don't know. She's like allowed to do this, right?
She is allowed to do that.
I mean,
yeah, she is allowed
like
to do that.
you were crushed. I don't want to be on her side or whatever, right? But we have to be careful, right? We don't want to demonize this person. She didn't like particularly do anything wrong, right?
Okay, yeah.
Not that Alec is in the position to admit.
Yeah, maybe you're some. Okay, I can see the undercurrent there.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Michael.
Okay.
Alec
so
situationally cannot.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine. No, I mean, no. Listen, like at the end of the day.
Anyway, she's allowed to get over this quicker than you are. That's
she
allowable for her.
She is allowed. Yeah, she is allowed. It was just some of the. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to get into it because it's not worth it.
Alec, we can FaceTime after if you want to talk about
we
it.
can FaceTime.
Whoa, Grace, you sound so good when you're close to the microphone.
Oh my goodness! Look at that. It's almost like sound works or something.
Hey guys,
Oh
how you doing?
God. Not
Yeah.
good.
How do you like it? How do you like it? Sounds good, don't it? Sounds real good.
All right. On that note, this has been a wonderful episode of The Penn and the Pavloffs. We appreciate you for listening. 5 stars. 5.5 stars just because of how good we are. But once again, let us know what you want to hear us talk about, if anything. We talked about a lot of topics today. Didn't really have a plan, but I kind of like it when we don't have a plan. We just kind of banter back and forth. But
yeah, especially when we have stuff on that document to work off of. That was really helpful today. That thing that I put on the document to work off of.
Anyway.
Michael, I feel the shade.
So, by the way, your mom loves it when I do that kind of stuff.
Yes, she does. I can tell that she does. Because she tells me about it all the time. Just like let us know what you want to hear about. We love that you guys are listening. We love that we have an audience. And thank you. This has been The Penn and the Pavloffs, and we'll talk to you next time.